Hey everyone, we're going to be diving into the Lalute property. First things first, some exciting stuff happening in the markets. Since we last chatted, Paul, we had the elections. Now a vaccine this week, so markets have been going crazy. Mining still looking good going into the future, of course, with the printing of money, stimulus stuff. And I know we can do a bigger economic chat in the future, but let's chat, about this graphite property. I want you to maybe introduce, graphite first, talk a little bit about, why it's such a great material, why it's sought after, and kind of what you think is going to be the future with graphite.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Basically, with graphite, what we're looking at is material that's much more conductive than copper, and that's saying some big things. It also has got some great heat conductivity, so it can take a lot of heat, whereas copper might melt. This is going to hold up. So that's very important qualities in any kind of energy storage, electrical conductivity. And so, generally speaking, I think that there are a lot of stuff that copper does, graphite can do better. So that's really good. The other thing that we might want to look at is just the specific secular bull market in electric vehicles and how that's going to impact graphite. What we know now is electric vehicles are a thing. There's many companies coming out. Everyone's competing for space. There's going to be a huge demand for lithium-ion batteries, which is the power plant for these vehicles. One of the major components of those lithium-ion batteries is graphite. There's actually 15 times more graphite than there is lithium in the battery. And so when the Quebec government came out with a plan on how to deal with critical materials and minerals, one of the things they pointed out was that the World Bank and the U.S. Geological Society says in the next 20 years, graphite is going to be needed. There's going to be needed, I think, 484% more graphite than there is in existence today. So that's huge. Lithium is a close second at 430, and then you've got cobalt as well. So these are the materials that go into a lithium-ion battery. They know what's going to happen in the market. We're just finding out, and we're trying to prepare for that market by developing the Lalute property in Quebec.
Yeah. No, interesting. Obviously, electric vehicles a very common topic right now, very exciting. And the infrastructure that needs to be put in is one thing. And then, there's 4 times more copper in an electric vehicle,
Yeah.
obviously. And then there's tons of, both you already said lithium and graphite. So that's just on the electric vehicle side, let alone all the storage side that you're already talking about. So I think exciting times. Do you want to now go into the property itself, and maybe some of the aspects, the highlights, if you want to go through them?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think the market side is going to take care of itself. Everyone's going to invest there. But what do we have? What's important about what we have? Well, what we have is a project that has near surface mineralization. You don't have to take off a lot of overburden waste materials before you get to the stuff that's going to pay you. That's good for economics. Secondly, we have intercepts of over 150 meters and in various different levels. That's very important because you have a project that's going to last for 10 or 15 years at least. And then thirdly, you have a high grades of intercept of graphite versus the waste material. So for each scoop you're taking out, you're making more money. So that's what makes a viable mining project. And we're also close to infrastructure, which means it's cheaper for our customers to purchase material and take it out. So these are all factors that go into assessing the economics. And that's what we're going to do now is we're going to assess do a preliminary economic assessment on the project, get the dollar value for the project, and that's going to put a baseline value for the entire company.
Yeah, no, I mean, so the highlights instantly, you see if you scroll through the website, right, you see 18.4 million tons of 3.19%, and then 16.7 million tons of 3.75%, which is incredible. Obviously, you're already talking about the economics, which is great, the future growth. And I guess the next question is, I mean, you already kind of got into it as next steps. So let's get a the economics really come out with what the dollar value should be.
Yeah.
What's on your guys' list for the next couple months, call it next 6 months, things you want to accomplish on this property?
Yeah, what you mentioned there was very important. That's the existing resource. Since then, since that was published in 2016, we've drilled another 60 holes. So we're going to upgrade that resource and get it going. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to write a 43-101, get metallurgical studies and graphite characterization studies so we know what the recoveries of the material is, and then write that preliminary economic assessment. All of that is going to be coming out in the next 6 to 8 months. I think this is the most exciting time the company's had in its history. And we have other companies that are on the other side of all of that are 60, 70, 120 million market cap. So we're sitting here at 5 million market cap. We think we've got a lot of upside.
Yeah, no, awesome. Extremely interesting. And I'll ask you the question. I don't know if you've done the math, just based on what the property's proven, what is the dollar value? How much at today's prices, how much graphite is that?
Well, we've got to be careful not to speculate because really that's what the preliminary economic assessment will do. We'll have a full engineering study to do that. But when it comes to comparing to other companies that are in existence today that have Quebec plays, that have I think resources very similar, we're right on the path. We're on the path for size and quality and the amount of material per the report. And so this is where we want to be. We want to also hit that point in time in which the graphite price absolutely spikes, and that's coming because demand is still going strong. Supply has been cut down. This is perfect timing for us to come out with one of these reports that explains what the value is, because as we do that, the value will, on the back of a napkin, grow because the graphite price grows. Every time you increase the price of the graphite per ton, every ton you have in the ground gets more valuable. And we've already defined, as you said, 30 million tons. Not that we're going to mine that right now. We're going to define something even tighter and more valuable, so that we're crunching it down, and the price per ton is way better.
Yeah. No, awesome. Look, exciting times, like you said, 6 to 8 months away is your goal to, have a number for people. What can people expect, let's call it over the next 2, 3 months? And not so much from the property, but just from the company?
Yeah, first of all, we're going to team up not only with the engineering groups and the material development side, those guys, but at the same time, we're also going to talk about the company itself and introduce it to far more people. We have a group that we've talked to in Germany that has come on to represent us there. We have groups in Calgary. You guys are in Toronto. We have other groups in that part of the world as well. And thankfully, a couple of groups have come on in the US. And one of the interesting things is the volume we have in the US. Our stock symbol there, LMRMF, has gotten a lot of volume compared to what it's been a couple of years ago even. So we're really happy with the kind of development. We're going to continue to put out news, material news, and then also reach out to further and further groups. So that's the key for Lomiko. We've really started, I think, the ascent into being a much more credible and viable mining operation.
Yeah, no, awesome. You're already talking, you've got growth perspectives of, 400+%. You've got a nice property, you're getting groups now. There's to spread the word, let people know you exist. You guys kind of did the hard work, you got it to this point. You've got 6 to 8 more months before you really get a nice dollar value. And here's what we have. And look, it does seem like exciting times, which is great. So congratulations there.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Is there anything else about the company or the property that you wanted to cover before we close things up. Of course, I know a little shorter of a video. I'm sure there's gonna be tons of questions. As we're spreading the word, hopefully this video gets out there too, and people realize they can ask questions, and we can do Q&A videos, get them, in future videos. But anything you wanted to say that we might have not covered?
Yeah, anything you want to know about this company, we've got a video on it. We've got lots of material for people to take a look at. We've got informational explainer videos on our YouTube channel. We've got a research page on our website. We've got a Facebook page. We've got a Twitter feed. So all of those are available for people. And we're looking not only at the mining side, but also the technology side, because that's where the upside is. That's where the huge upside is if we can define material that can be used in technologies. And some of them are just coming out and becoming interesting, such as the whole graphene sector. But that's a whole other story, and we can talk about that some other time.
A little teaser for a future video. Well,
Exactly.
cool. Oh, awesome. Thanks for joining. We'll do industry stuff. The videos will get a lot more fun, a lot sexier. We'll talk about real market stuff,
Whoa,
custom
whoa,
stuff.
whoa, whoa. We don't want to get too sexy.
uh the, Not too sexy, but they'll definitely be more interesting. I know these are the
Yeah.
intro videos, putting them down. But if there's any questions, of course, if you're watching this, Paul's a great guy, friendly. We'll answer a ton of stuff. Make sure you leave them below, or reach out, and we'll make sure we get it answered. Paul, thanks for joining me. I think this was a good video.
Thanks, Jason. Take care.